Welcome back to another episode of the Glory Hunter Career Mode here on FC24 in our final season of the series with Barcelona, where we are looking to win the La Liga in the Copa del Rey, the Copa de Espana, as well as the Champions League. And at the end of the season, we will have one more opportunity at the Euros this summer. Last episode, we kicked things off by getting ourselves into the round of 16 of the Champions League, in which we now take on Borussia Dortmund, our biggest team there, Bayern Munich as well. They get knocked down to the Europa League. They survived by winning their last two games of the group stages to get Europa League action. We went ahead and on simulation to get into the first of the month. We lost our first game of the season against Getafe, a 1-0 loss there. We drew to that other team there in the 19th, 1-1. So we've drawn our last last three games and lost against Getafe. We are now in La Liga. We do not have the Super Cup or the Super Cup, whatever it's called, because if I'm not mistaken, it's the top four finishers of the league, and we didn't finish top four. We finished in fifth, obviously, last season. Well, they finished in fifth last season. So, Copa de Espana, round of 32, we have Deporto Alaves in there. We have 190 million now, thanks to the sale of Lewandowski, some other deadwood players. We are going to go ahead and switch from this 4-1-2-1-2 narrow to the 4-2-3-1 wide. I think it gives me more room with Odegaard, but that does mean Victor Roku might get dropped to the bench because we are going to look out for a right-hand side. And honestly, Ferran Torres isn't safe as well. And this Barcelona team might not be Barcelona. This team might slowly turn into a different team that might be top of the table at the time of recording this in England. We already got some players there. Might add some more. Go big or go home, they say. So Phil Foden, welcome to Barcelona. He'll join over from Manchester City. A swap deal including Ferran Torres plus 35 odd million, a 15% selling clause. And Mr. Phil Foden is now over here in La Liga in Barcelona, and hopes to hopefully lift the Champions League trophy, lift the La Liga trophy, as well as the Copa del Rey. He'll take Lewandowski's number 9, which is honestly completely fine as well. That is not even the big signing I was talking about, but it's technically the highest overall signing that is on my short list now. Go big or go home. Now, this is the one I was talking about. I had him on my short list probably since the third episode, to be honest. I had the thoughts of bringing him in if that diamond formation didn't work out. And honestly, it didn't really work out too well for at least Odegaard, at least. But we are going to go ahead and bring in Bukayo Saka. We now have William Saliba. We have Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard and Bukayo Saka. We have 4 Arsenal players at the club now. He will be number 7. I don't know who number 7 is, but they will be giving that number up to Bukayo Saka. I'm also going to change Declan Rice back to 41. And honestly, I'm going to give Odegaard number 8. Pedri, you're going to lose your number. I'm sorry, bud, but that's just how it's going to be. Now, there is a big reason why I chose 2 English players. We obviously have Declan Rice in our team. We now have Bukayo Saka, and we now have not Declan Rice. We now have Phil Foden. Martinelli. I was honestly going to bring in Martinelli over Phil Foden as well, but I just didn't want to. I didn't want to have half my team being current Arsenal players in real life. So, and the other Arsenal players were already there, besides Saliba, who we got on a free, which is still absolutely insane. But if we go to international jobs, where we have a job offer from a certain England national team. We got this job offer in November. We have into the 12th of January to accept it. So we are going to go ahead and accept it. They want us to reach the semifinals of the European Championship. We want to win it. And I think with Bukayo Saka, Phil Foden, and Declan Rice all in our team, they will be the best in the best when it comes to the summer. So welcome to England, Mr. Glory Man. Alright, some new numbers to be talked about here. So, Mr. Eric Garcia is now number 2, which is perfectly fine. He might not be here by the time we get to the end of the month anyway. Declan Rice is back to his Arsenal number 41, which he is currently in real life. Pedri has his Spain number 10, so he'll lose the number 8 for the club. That's going obviously now to Martin Odegaard, so he gets to number 10. Martin Odegaard picks up that number 8. Phil Foden stays at 9, which is perfectly fine. But Bukayo Saka picks up 7, which was free anyway, so he'll get the number 7 with no problem. Højlund will go from number 10 to number 14. That's all the number changes that we have. And so this is the new starting 11. We have Højlund, who maintains that starting position instead of Vitor. He gets dropped to the bench. We have a brand new midfield trio with Phil Foden, Martin Odegaard, and Bukayo Saka, with Pedri and Rice down the middle. Davis, Saliba, Koundé, and Gallo as our back four with Ter Stegen. Our bench is now lacking wingers, which we don't have money to bring in the wingers. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do there. We might have to go look for free agents and just pick up some deadwood there. Or maybe we sell this man for a record fee, at least sell him. He was obviously here when we first got to the club. And when we sell him, we could boost our bench significantly. But I'm only going to sell him if we get enough money. They're offering 150. The board thinks I can get 190. So I'm going to go higher than that with 205. I'm going to hope they don't walk out instantly. We do play Borussia Dortmund in the round of 16 of the Champions League. So this could be dangerous. We're going to just go flat 200 now instead of 205. Flat 200 mil. They went up to 187. This is possible. This is possible. 199.5. My lowest, 196. Surely I have to accept that. Surely you have to accept the 196 million offer for Rasmus. Do I though? I have Vitor. I could bring in a backup striker. I could bring in backup wingers. Bring in a backup center back, possibly a backup full back as well. We don't have a backup left back for Alphonso Davies. I think we do it. I think we do it. Do we try 200 one more time? No, we just accept it. We don't push it way too far. We accept it, 196 million, and if it goes through, it goes through. And I think it's happening. I think he's gone. Rasmus Højlund has been sold for 196.5 million. It's not the last time we'll see him this season, though. We will see him at Borussia Dortmund for the Champions League round of 16. But goodbye to him. You will walk out of here on your way to Germany. Wow. I can't believe I actually just did that. Vitor becomes the #1 striker once again. We go ahead and bring in Carlos Forbes in from Brighton for 40 million on the dot. He'll be a backup right winger. We'll bring in Mykhailo Mudryk from Chelsea for 40.9 million. He'll be a backup left winger for Phil Foden. And then we'll bring in Pablo Palacios. He'll come in as a strike-up backup for us. That is all the transfer business we do in the summer. This is your starting 11 to kick off our Copa de Espana campaign here. We have Vitor at the starting striker position. We have Phil Foden on the left, Odegaard down the middle, Saka down the right, Pedri and Rice in the middle. You already know this team. On the bench, we have a brand new bench. We have Palacios as our striker. We have Mudryk as our left wing replacement. We have Forbes as our right wing replacement. We have Tillman, Zayamery, and Vermeeren and Simicon on the bench as well. Let's get into the game against Deportivo Alvarez, and let's see what the boys can do. Raksiki. Alphonso Davies out of position. William Saliba's got to come across. Now in towards Manuel Vallejo, into the box for Gurdy, and Gurdy, Koundé with the interception there, and now Phil Foden, and now we can run. Phil Foden down the left-hand side, Phil Foden still going, still with Philly, near post for Phil Foden, save, point blank, saved again by the keeper, headed away by the defender, and Martin Odegaard, number 8, saved, or blocked, I should say, not really saved, it was blocked, out for a throw-in now. Davies, Phil Foden, into Odegaard, into Roku, into space, and Vitor off the post. We'll find the back of the net, and Vitor will open the scoring here in our first game of the Copa del Rey. Vitaroku, Phil Foden, crossed in for Bukayo! The two new boys linking up, and Bukayo Saka is off the marks running with an absolutely outrageous finish. It's 2-0 for Barcelona. And Bukayo Saka, look at the finish on here. Look at the pass from Phil Foden into the pass of Bukayo Saka. Gets up, gets his foot to it. Back of the net, 2-0. Vitaroku getting off the defender. A little sloppy on the ball, a little weak on the ball. And Vitaroku wants a piece of the pie. He won't get it quite yet. He did score the first goal. Yeah, he did score the first goal. So he really got a piece of the pie. Bukayo Saka from distance, blocked. Nearly into the path of Odegaard. Saliba, Bukayo, Pedri, Martin. Phil, possibly, yes, Phil! He will get a piece of the pie. The new boys are firing off. It's 3-0 for Barcelona. And we are just going to go ahead and jump to the result because we are going to have at least another Copa de game in this same month. A 5-0 thrashing against Alvarez. Slightly rotated team for the next round of the Copa de Espana. Vitaroku stays at striker, but a brand new midfield with Mudryk, Tillman, Ford, Zayemri, and Vermeeren as a brand new midfield 5 with Simicon on for Koundé. Let's jump into it. Let's see what we can do. See how long we can last without having to bring on the big boys. Davies. Come on, go down the left-hand side now. Alfonso Davies, Vitaroku. We a little bit need that 40th minute cheese. Vitaroku. Matt Turner can't save that one. And Barcelona finally have the lead. Can't lie. This midfield 5 ain't doing that great at the moment. The midfield 2 and Vermeeren and Zayemri is doing well. Mudryk and Forbes aren't linking up together alongside Tillman as well. It's just not working out. We go halftime up 1-0, and there might be changes made in the beginning of the second half. Martin Odegaard pressuring, and Martin Odegaard getting the ball. Martin Odegaard finding the back of the net, and it's 2-0 for Barcelona. Martin Odegaard coming on and doing what he does best. These types of finishes are his best strong suit. He absolutely blasts into the back of the net, and we are up 2-0. Gallo into Martin Odegaard over the top, maybe no. Vermeeren on second ball, he'll find Martin Odegaard that time. Now into Bukayo, slots that into Roku. He will find Phil Foden, and Phil Foden will find Matt Turner's hands. Phil Foden getting it back though, the pressure is on from Phil. And Phil now, what can he do? He's going to carry it all the way in the box, and he finds somebody in the box that's not a red shirt. The answer is no. Gallo, down to Martin. Martin. Into Roku. Into Phil Foden. Was he offside? It doesn't matter. It's Odegaard. He'll find the back of the net to make it 3-0. I thought he was going to miss that, to be honest. I didn't green time it. It's Martin Odegaard with the brace. It's 3-0 for Barcelona. And we are into the quarterfinals of the Copa de Espana. Pedri on for Mr. Zayemri, and then Palacios on for Vitaroku. First look at Palacios in this team now. Palacios gets it back. Bukayo Saka now into Martin Odegaard, who is on a hat-trick. I have Phil Foden right there, but I'm going to take it with Martin. I want the hat-trick from Martin, and it's exactly what will happen. 4-0 for Barcelona. Martin Odegaard gets his hat-trick. A second-half hat-trick. A 30-minute hat-trick, in fact, as well. And it's 4-0 for Barcelona. And these new star boys that I brought onto the team has elevated this game, has elevated this team to that next level. And we look unstoppable at the moment. We are going to go ahead and just jump to the end there and pick up that 4-0 win. We are into the quarterfinals of the Champions League, of the Copa de Espana. In the Copa de Espana quarterfinals, we face off against Atletico Madrid. In the quarterfinals is only one leg, right? It's the semifinals that goes into 2 legs. I'm pretty sure, and in fact, I am 100% sure. Okay, yeah, it's only 2 legs. So, I don't know what to do. Do I play... yeah, because I play Atletico Madrid now, right? I end the episode on Atletico Madrid. Did I play any game? No, I didn't play any game at all. The first game I played was Alvarez, and then I played Almeria. A 9-0 win today, total. Now we go ahead and play. I'll go and play Atletico Madrid in today's episode to wrap it up here. We are going to go with the full strength team. It's Roku, Foden, Odegaard, Saka, yada, yada, yada. Let's get to it. And here we go. Can this midfield trio do it against a decent team, a good team? They're in the title race. I know we have a decent gap, but that loss actually might have hurt us as well. They're in the title race. Martin Odegaard now to Phil Foden. Will this team elevate that and make the title race that easier as Bukayo Saka? Selfish play from Bukayo. And I forgot to change Victor Roku. I wanted to change Victor Roku to number 19 because that's what he is at Barcelona at the moment as well. Pedri. Deco. Foden. Phil Foden now. Phil Foden. Can he cross it into Martin Odegaard? All Black catches that. Koundé heads that down to Bukayo. Now Bukayo has a chance to run. He's going to look to find Martin Odegaard. He will find him. Now Pedri out wide to Saka. He didn't put enough pace on that, but the clearance is poured and find Martin Odegaard, who is on fire. He's finally going. This is why we bought him for this reason exactly. Martin Odegaard finds the back of the net, and it's 1-0 for Barcelona. Since bringing Saka and Foden alone, it has elevated this team to an insane level, and it elevated Martin Odegaard because he was looking poor to kick the season off, and now he's absolutely flowing. He had a hat-trick last game. Molina for Atletico. Molina, Ter Stegen, you gotta save that, bud. Last chance. Odegaard will look to clear it. Koundé will push it wide, and we'll go into the break level at 1 apiece in the Copa de Espana. Labaca is gone for Atletico Madrid. Labaca, Rafinha. Pedri will win it back. We're going extra time. Labaca, Carlos, Ter Stegen with the save. Mudryk is coming off for Foden. We need the pace. Just need the pace. That's all we need. That's why he's there. Rafinha crossed in. Gallo Davies connecting to clear it. Declan Rice can't fully clear it. Declan, can you pick it up? It might fall for Forbes. Still in the path of Atletico Madrid. Palacios intercepts that. He's going to look to find Martin Odegaard, and he can't really collect the ball cleanly. Declan Rice making the tackle. No. Koundé. No. Rovella now on the ball. Gets past Gallo, but can't get past Koundé on the second time. And Gallo now will not clear it. Gallo will find Rafinha. It's Atletico Madrid again. And we are more than likely going to a penalty shootout. That's exactly what will happen. A penalty shootout to get into the semifinals to keep our cup run alive. A penalty shootout to determine who goes to the semifinals. It's Atletico at first with Rafinha down the middle. Carlos Forbes, can you find it? Bottom left, the keeper saves, All Black. Rovella, he goes left as well. Atletico's up 2. Palacios, down the middle. Keeper saves again. Hancho, down the middle, 3-0. We're out. We're out of the cup. Declan Rice down the middle. Sure, you don't go down the middle again. We've got to save this one. We have got to save this one, and we don't save it, and Atletico Madrid are into the next round. Barcelona are out. We won't pick up the cup in the Glory Hunter. We fail 2 trophies in the Glory Hunter. We end the episode only 1 point clear off of Real Madrid. They've been picking up wins. We've been picking up draws. We are out of the Copa de Espana. We are still in the Champions League around 16, and that will be next episode. I was aiming for the first leg to be this episode, but we made a decent cup run. We lose on penalties to Atletico Madrid. When we come back, we have Borussia Dortmund. We also have Real Madrid there as well, which is a big game, and then probably the second leg of Borussia Dortmund as well to end things off next episode. If you did enjoy this absolute shit show, this changing of this team, which has been phenomenal into that last game against Atletico Madrid where they failed to win. So big hurdle to come across now. Until then, leave a like, subscribe, and peace out.